new setup, John. No, actually, before we even talk about the new setup,
Yep.
I want to talk about your glasses. Are those
Okay.
prescription glasses?
No.
They are. Are they
Is
the
this
blue
a
blocker?
test?
It is a test. Are they blue blocker glasses?
No.
Oh,
Would
you
you
just
like them to
are
be?
they readers? Is that all they are?
Yes.
Okay. I just bought. Well, Santa bought a
Oh.
box of blue blocking glasses for Peyton
How
because
many are in a box?
there were 5, and they're
Wow.
one of them is clear, and they look exactly like the ones you're wearing right now.
Okay.
One of them's they're all clear, but one of them is like white clear. Then there's a red one and a blue
Okay.
one and a yellow one. They're kind of neat, but I saw those and I'm like, oh, he's wearing blue blockers.
No, they're not. And I should probably have. Okay. So anybody whose eyes are not perfect, yours are probably perfect because you're going to be a pilot.
Yeah, no.
I have, I don't know, 20 pair or pairs. Which is it now?
You know,
They
that's a
keep
great
changing that.
question. They
20
change
pair
everything.
of
Yeah.
readers. Yeah. That's what it used to be. I have 5 pair of jeans in my closet. Is it
Right.
pair or is it
Or is it
pairs?
pairs? You are the grammarian, so
But I don't know because they changed that crap without letting me know. It's like irregardless. Now it's
they
acceptable, and
right.
that is crap.
It really is crap. I can't argue that point at all. And I'm not going to try.
I know. You wouldn't even
No.
playing the devil's advocate. Don't do that.
Let's
The
talk
devil's a
about
prick.
he really is a prick. How do you know it's a he?
Because.
Okay. Anyway, so we're talking about vision and being a pilot.
Yes.
I had a dream when I was younger to become a fighter pilot, as I think most little boys probably did. But I love flying,
Sure.
and I thought, oh, what a great way! I'll join the military and become a fighter pilot. And while now as an adult, one of my only regrets in life, true regrets, because I honestly don't believe necessarily 100% in regrets. I believe in learning opportunities. Hi, Indy, I can see Indy back there. It's not quite a squirrel, but it's close. So everything is a learning opportunity. I don't have true regrets except for one, and that is joining the service. I would have loved, now as an adult, looking back, I would have loved to have spent a few years in the service. I think everyone should do that. I really do. And when I was growing up, there was obviously a part of my life where I didn't want to join the service because I got glasses in 7th grade. And you can't, back then, anyone who is a fighter pilot now knows you can, because you can get LASIK and they actually let you still fly.
Mm-hmm.
But back then you couldn't have corrective surgery and become a fighter pilot. And me with little pea brain and no one who was actually a pilot in the military didn't know that you could still fly in the military. You could fly cargo jets. You could fly helicopters. You can actually fly helicopters with glasses. The only thing you couldn't fly was fighter jets.
So glasses, but contact lenses?
Yeah, that's what they wouldn't make you. You would actually wear contact lenses most of the time. But yeah, as a fighter pilot, you have to have 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
Or better.
Corrected, at least. But
not corrected. Not corrected.
Well, corrected by surgery.
Not surgery. Only LASIK.
Yeah, which is surgery.
Well, now, yes. But back then they didn't allow that either. That's a fairly recent, and when I say recent, I'm talking 20, 25 years.
Okay.
Recent addition. So I actually have classmates from high school who also wore glasses who were able to become fighter pilots in the Air Force because they were able to get LASIK.
So you're only like 7 years from being a fighter pilot, if you
7 or 8. Yeah, I was almost there. So anyway, all that to say, yes, I know you do not need to have perfect vision to be a pilot. You can actually have worse vision than I have and still be a pilot. But that's my glasses story and why I was so disappointed and why not the only reason I didn't join the military. I didn't like people telling me what to do. I still don't. But that was one of the other reasons. That is definitely a problem.
Could be a problem.
That and the recruiter called me and asked me, so what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do when you're older? What do you want to do as a career? And I said, film and television. And he said, good luck with that. Click.
Wow.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound that heartbroken.
No, he didn't sound heartbroken at all.
No.
I guess the Army didn't want anyone that did film and television. They do now.
I was going to say that is kind of a big deal these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they need a lot. I actually, when I was going back to school to get my graduate degree, one of the cohorts, one of the classmates of mine was a public affairs officer in the Navy. And she tried
Okay.
to get me to join up. She's
Mhm.
like, we need more public affairs officers. You should join. After we're done with this program, I'll get you, I'll call a recruiter I know. I'm like, yeah, I'm too old. She's like, oh, you mind, you got a year left.
Wow. Yeah, boy, you'd have a hell of a pension.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I did my one. Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
We should do like
classes,
an
they're
Andy
wonderful.
and Barney from the Andy Griffith Show. At
I
some point during most of their shows, they would it could be sitting on the porch and they'd just be sometimes Andy with a cigarette. They'd be exactly, and they just do one of those.
well, I do that pretty
Yeah,
much every
yep, yep,
show.
yep, 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 yep. That was Barney. And
Cigarettes in a swing. It's a
yeah,
perfect day
yep,
for cigarettes in a
yep,
swing.
yep, yeah, it really is.
So
Or
speak.
swing. Yeah. Speaking of, I can't wait for the speaking of that.
Well, I was
Go.
going to say, speaking of cigarettes and swings, John and I, before we got on the program, we were actually talking about. We both went to the grocery store today, and not together. We were
Cigarettes and
together though.
swings.
Yeah, cigarettes and swings. We were together a few weeks ago. Did we talk about that? I think we did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We actually went to the grocery store in our respective homes,
We did.
no
Well,
hometowns. Yeah,
hometowns. Yeah.
hometowns, and
Mhm.
had some very interesting experiences. Because I know in the last episode or two, we actually spoke about grocery stores, or maybe it was just you and I. I never remember. I can't separate our regular conversations from the podcast anymore.
I'm just going to have an aside with the viewers and listeners for a moment.
I
And
wish.
listeners,
It's getting to be about that time in
listeners,
the day.
if you didn't hear, yes, it is just the drinking thing with
Yeah.
Nick. I don't know if you're actually drinking, but
I'm drinking water. Does that count?
Sure, it's water.
Yeah. I tend to slur more when I'm sober. Anyway,
Yes, you do.
we went to the
We
grocery
should get
store.
that fixed.
We should. And John, we both had fairly interesting experiences. What was your experience this morning when you went to the store?
Well, mine was interesting because so where we are in Florida, there are maybe a surprise, maybe not a surprise. There's a plethora of elderly folks, and either they have retired here or they're snowbirds who are here for this time of the year. And finding a time to go to the grocery store where, let's say, I don't bother them is
They're like,
sometimes a
that
challenge.
young asshole.
Exactly.
What is that whippersnapper doing here?
Well, I like going to the store when I'm younger because it is one of the few places I can go where I'm young now.
Right.
But the grocery store is it. Anyway, so I got there at about 8, a little after 8 o'clock, and I parked right next to the handicap spot right near the front of the store. I mean, it was the first one. It's like rock star parking. Got there, got in. It was not busy, and we're still relatively new to this store, so I'm not proficient at hitting all the the aisles correctly and so on. Did pretty well because there was no one there, no line at the checkout. Got out of there probably in half an hour. It still cost me $200 and something. But,
Yeah.
But I got out of there fast, and so that made it worth a little more, I guess.
And by the way, folks, every time you hear that noise, that's John hitting his desk, which is still, I'm assuming, a rubber table or a plastic table.
Plastic.
Yeah. We can hear you hitting your desk, John.
I'm not hitting it. Maybe I was bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
It might be my chair because I just get enthusiastic.
Well, I understand enthusiasm, especially when we're talking about grocery stores and what are they? Geriatric? What are they? What's that word? Now you can't say the word.
Octogenarians.
Octogenarians. That's the word I was looking for.
80-ish, 80-something people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they older in the store?
Well, Octogenarians. 80-ish people.
80-ish people. Which
are they older in the store? No, but they certainly act like it. Okay, look, and it's not just at the store, it's on the way to the store. The driving is terrible. Okay, so I've done time. Lisa and I have been to Phoenix many times, and we love Arizona weather, warm weather. And we had thought maybe that's going to be the place where we build a house, retire, so on.
Hmm.
Okay, it ended up being Florida. The drivers here are way worse than Phoenix.
Really
Way
interesting.
worse.
I
Pick your
think
worst city for drivers. This
yeah,
is worse.
really. See, my mom and stepdad did that. They were snowbirds and had a place
Mhm,
in Arizona.
mhm.
And that's what they would always say. The worst drivers were in Phoenix.
Yeah. They
Absolutely
are
worst.
when
So
you
it's
live
interesting.
there or when
Yeah.
you're vacationing there or visiting there, but when you are actually on si oh my gosh. So today, it was, I couldn't believe it, guy in the right lane, I think it was the right turn lane, can't swear to it, right lane at least, and somebody cut in front of him and cut across 4 lanes of traffic to the left turn lane. And I'm
Wow.
thinking, "Okay, well, he's probably not happy." And then the guy they cut off also crossed over and turned into the left turn lane. And this is not even 100 feet from the intersection. And I'm going, so
Wow.
either he's going after them because he's mad at him, he's going to chase him down. I don't
Yeah.
know, road rage or something, or he's just changing his mind. And he changed his mind and followed him. There was no rush or any
That's
aggressive movements. I just couldn't believe it. That's typical of what happens
wow.
here in Port Charlotte, Florida.
So we don't have that problem. I went to the store today and I went early because I want to beat all of it. And
Mhm.
it has just been hell going to the grocery store lately, especially because half the time we go there, most of what we want is sold out, which is saying a lot because we don't eat what the typical person eats. We're looking for, beyond meat and a lot of
Rabbit
vegetables
food.
and exactly rabbit food. Um, or because I'm just in one of those special types of assholes, I like to buy the more expensive good food. So, most people don't like to spend the money that I'm willing to spend. But and here's the other thing. I think I've said this before as well, but I plan meals, so I shop for meals. My mom had it right when I was growing up. She shopped. I guess the best way I could describe it, she shopped like a European, where she would know what meal she wanted to cook, and she'd go to the store.
Mm,
The next day, she'd know what meal she wanted to cook, and she'd go to the store. We always
every
had
day.
some staples. She went to the store virtually every day.
Wow.
I went to the store today, and I shopped all the way through the week. So I
Okay.
have I have stuff. I should be good until Friday.
And then
And
will you go to the store again
one of us
next
will.
Friday
One
or
of us will,
okay.
I'm
So
sure.
does anybody anyone because I hear some people talk about it. They can go a month and
If
do all
we
their how do you do that?
we have well, if you don't want to eat fresh stuff.
Well, you have to freeze it, obviously,
Yeah.
yes, and do
Yeah, you
meal
can
prep probably, right?
we've done stuff like that before
Yeah,
and we can, but we get sick of because you can't get fresh. We like fresh vegetables. We like,
yeah.
and but we have been able to go a month. We did that when the pandemic started. We went almost an entire month just based on the stuff we had, and it's called Costco.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, our staples, we have a bunch of pasta. We've had pasta for 2 months. We've had canned beans and peas and I know I already said pasta, but mac and cheese. We've had all of that, and
Right.
we've had it for 2 or 3 months now. So it really, for a long time, we were just going to the store to get fresh vegetables because we don't have our CSA
Yep.
right now.
Yeah, and speaking of your CSA, and I'm trying to find the place where I got them, and I can't right now, but that's okay. I, ordered, and this was an online order, oddly enough, like a CSA sort of a thing.
Mm.
So I and got a box, 12 pounds, anyway, 10 pounds or more of veggies and fruits,
Uh-huh.
and just wide variety of things. And I did it. I mean, I told Lisa afterwards, but didn't do it with her permission.
Uh-huh.
So when it came, she said, well, "What's in there?" And I said, "It looked like it was mostly rutabaga."
Uh-huh.
So, which I love, and she doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but it was a wide variety.
Yeah.
of stuff. I mean, it was romaine and iceberg. I haven't bought iceberg lettuce in 10 years,
Yeah.
probably, which is fine. We'll do it as a wedge or whatever, then it's
Sure.
fine. But romaine and I mean, I won't go through the whole list, but it was a nice selection of stuff. And then some stuff I would never buy, like red cabbage, which
I just bought some red cabbage.
did
Thanks a lot.
you
Yeah.
want to buy mine?
Sure.
I'll
Or you
sell
can
it to
just
you.
give it to me.
I'll set. Well, shipping costs are going to set me way back.
I'll cover shipping.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just to make it safe, why don't you just send me $50 and
Well,
that's
hey,
get
why
it
don't
there.
you
You want it overnighted, right?
instead of doing that, why don't you just send me some money and I'll go buy another one at the store and just say it's yours?
I'm okay with that. No.
Okay. All right.
I'm okay with that.
We've done one of those boxes before
Yep.
we knew about the CSA, and
Mhm.
we did that for a little while. We just, again, they just didn't have the stuff we normally ate. We ended up wasting a lot of it. So
Yeah.
and same with the CA. We've decided probably not to do the CSA again this year
Well, can't you
because
do different levels?
you can do different levels, but this last year we just got a lot of stuff we don't normally eat, and a lot of it went to waste, and we didn't like that. So
Well, I guess my thought is, right or wrong, maybe it'll encourage us to eat some different things that we don't normally
yeah.
eat.
Yeah, and that's how we looked at it too. But there were things like, for example, especially in the fall, this year we got a ton of eggplant,
Okay.
and we've tried eggplant so many different ways. And there isn't one person in this house that likes eggplant.
Well, eggplant is unique because it takes on the flavor of whatever you put with it.
Yeah,
It's very much like a like a
sponge.
it is, I guess, and but I'm thinking of other foods that are similar to that tofu.
Tofu.
It'll take on whatever else you put
Sure.
with it. So garlic and things like that, especially, seem to infuse. But
Yeah,
me.
it was never something we liked. So again, it went to waste if we couldn't give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Which we did try to do quite a bit. We gave a lot of our veggies away, but
That's nice. I mean, that's a good way to.
yeah, I like
deal with it.
and what might be a workaround. I do like the fall, not the fall, the spring vegetables, the
Mhm.
rutabagas and a lot of the root vegetables that are coming up, and
Root veg. So fall or spring rather is rutabaga.
that's when that's
I
when we
always
would
thought it
get
was a
it.
fall.
You would think that, but we always got it in the spring boxes.
Interesting.
That and
We always
and a lot of beets and
beets would be great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beets
So
it's all about preparation,
yeah,
and they're just so time consuming.
they are so time-consuming.
Everything's red. I mean,
Yes,
everything.
everything. Your hands are
red.
stained for like a week.
Yeah, I wear gloves,
So
so it's no problem.
I don't.
Not rubber gloves.
That's
I wear actually winter
winter
skiing
gloves.
gloves. Yeah,
Well, I mean, what else are you going to use them for? You live in Florida.
exactly. It's
Mhm.
a brilliant
Just don't
use.
get it on that beautiful white hat of yours.
It's beautiful now. Probably
It won't
not
be
for a while.
now.
Hey, you know what? And so, little bragging going on. Go online and you find hats and name brand stuff, and you're doing advertising. Uh, they're $20 and up. It seems
Right.
like, and
Yeah. And getting more expensive.
Marshalls.
You told me that.
It's really. And so I went and now I have a white one, a black one, and a gray one because that's what they had in stock. And they're
Nice.
all. Is this Puma? It's all Puma, right?
Puma.
I can't see it because it's on my head.
Yeah, it's Puma.
Okay.
It doesn't say Puma, but it is a Puma.
That's what I was looking for. It could actually be a house cat for all.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Cheaper for
Yeah.
$10. All right, I'm in.
Why not?
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So anyway,
You
there's
needed
my
some more hats.
my hat story. I always need hats because as I age, my hair is not as fun to look at.
Yeah, mine either.
Yours is invisible.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it. It's an invisibility cloak.
A cloak of it. So far, I've only gotten it to take away my hair from view, but
Yeah.
soon I'll have the rest of my forehead gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, grocery stores.
Yes.
I went and the only thing I can tell you is from my experience, the downside is the number of workers who are actually there when other people aren't there. We only had one lane besides the self-checkout. We only had one lane open. So there was a big line going into the lane. So I flew through the store getting everything I needed, and there were very few people that I had to avoid,
Mhm.
which for me, I don't like people. So, it was great. Very few people to avoid. The shelves were stocked for the
Mhm.
most part.
Mhm.
And then I get to the line and it was a 20-minute wait in line. I'm like, I feel like I'm at Disney. Oh, wait,
Did
no, the
you
line's still moving faster.
were there you know, when they put up video boards, you know that it's gotten too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're showing some Disney movies. Were they doing did you have stalkers there at the store? Because we did. I didn't even think about that till you
No,
mentioned that.
actually, not there. I will say there were a couple of carts that were in the middle of the aisle that were stocking carts, but no one actively stocking,
Okay.
which is weird because I've gone at other times. Like during the week, I'll go and there's stalkers all the time.
Hmm.
And I guess it depends on what time of day. And that's usually I think when it gets really busy, you've got people that are also stocking, which then you get more people in the aisle and you're like, come on,
Yeah.
really?
When you told me that, I thought you said stalkers,
Yeah,
and
stalkers.
that's a different time of the day in our
Oh yeah.
store. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's anytime after 10 p.m., anytime after prime time.
They have
It's considered
stalkers.
late night and you've got the stalkers.
That is the perfect time for stalking, if
Yeah,
any of you
exactly.
are wondering about that.
The only persons that stalked me today was the guy picking up carts in the parking lot.
Picking up who?
Carts.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said carpets.
I want to, maybe I'm mumbling. Most people are having trouble hearing me lately. It's either that or I'm surrounding myself with old people.
Or people that aren't paying attention to you. Maybe it's that,
Oh,
Spanky.
that makes a lot more sense.
Did you say something?
I did, and I'm about to some more. So you said you got a spot right up front.
Yes, got a good parking spot. You?
Well, I always get a good parking spot because I never park up front. I always go to the back of the lot and park. So yes, I have a longer walk, but I got a longer walk. It's good
Look at all the
exercise.
exercise I get,
Yeah,
which I like to do when I have a load of ice cream in my cart.
it's not that long. It's not your ice cream is not going to melt, especially when it's only 50 degrees outside or
What
40
if you have
degrees.
the
It's
lid
40.
off and you're actually eating the ice cream on the way to
Then
your
it doesn't.
truck?
Then why does it matter? You're eating it.
But I don't want it to. Some of
I
it needs to
don't.
make it home.
I don't open ice cream in the bins.
Wow. Now
Yeah.
I know you're like Mr. Howell. Lovey, we do not
Lovey, we
open
do
ice
not
cream
open
in the
ice cream in the
bins.
bins.
Yeah, especially when you said bins.
I had to. I knew you'd have that reaction. That's why I
That
did it.
was terrible. The only bends I want to talk about is when you come up from under the water too fast when
Oh,
you're
yeah. Okay, that's the only type, huh?
snorkeling. Nah,
Right.
scuba diving.
Snorkeling? Yeah.
Scuba diving.
John,
I just said
am
that
I?
for
It's
Steven, our
whatever.
friend,
Am
because he understands the difference. Wanted to make
he
sure he was
does?
paying attention.
Yeah, Stephen. Hope you're paying attention,
He
buddy.
is
You
a
need to
big
come on. He
scuba
needs
guy,
to come. He is. He needs to come on the podcast, and he's been so busy lately, though,
hasn't he?
that I don't know if he's had much time to go out and do that. But I haven't talked to him since the
Oh,
holiday, so maybe he had some time over the holiday to do it.
yeah.
Hopefully, he did.
He does enjoy it. He is
He does.
quite adept and really, I mean, on his own, of his own volition, taught
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Not taught him. Obviously, you got to be certified and everything, but
Right.
he inspired himself to do it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all got that's. We have another coworker, AJ, who is helping me because he's also becoming a private pilot.
Yes, he
And
is.
so we're going to be, he actually called the other day and said, hey, let's do this. Let's develop a plan where we can bounce ideas off of each other, or not ideas, bounce test questions off of each other.
Mhm.
So, and then by the end of February, or at least somewhere in March, we can actually take our test, our written test, so we can start flight school after that. And
Cool.
it's fantastic because now someone is actually holding me accountable and keeping and holding my feet to the fire to try to get this done. But it's the
That's
same
awesome.
thing, it's having that gumption, I guess, that self. What's the word I'm looking for? What
I
did
don't
you
know.
just say about Steven?
You're about to say malarkey, I can tell.
No, not malarkey.
Gumption? Seriously?
Gumption. Yes. That's
How old are you?
You know what? The holidays just finished. We watched The Holiday during the holidays.
Yes.
And there's an actor in there. I know you know who he is. He's since passed away, but
Okay.
he was like 90 years old in this movie. He was in a bunch of movies from back in the day, including, I think he was in all or at least two of the Godfather movies.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name now. But anyway,
Come on.
he plays a writer in this movie, and that's
Okay.
one of his things. He talks about gumption, and then of course Kate Winslet, during one of her defining moments in the movie, she said, "I think I've developed something like, I don't know, gumption. So,
wow.
yeah, I use the word gumption. I
All
like that
right.
word. I'm going to bring it back.
Okay. I'd say you're well on the way.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And once we get 30 people saying gumption, that's all of our listeners, by the way. Then I mean,
Yes.
we'll take over the
Some of
world.
them twice. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
Not
that
all of
would
them
be
on the
great.
same episode.
We should change the name of the podcast.
To gumption?
No.
Oh,
No. Hell
no.
no.
Hell no.
Yes, gumption. Okay, well, I like it, and I understand what you're saying. It's that accountability really
Yes,
does
accountability. That
add
was what I
to
was
it.
looking
Well, you
for.
said that earlier.
Okay,
I
I
think
did.
that's exactly what it is. AJ is good about that stuff too,
Mhm.
our buddy, because he, well, I mean, he's an Iron Man, and
Yep.
he has done. He's worked races, and
Yep. And now, before John goes on, when he says Iron Man, he doesn't moonlight as Robert Downey Jr. He actually
although he could,
he probably
if you
could. Well,
squint,
he's about the right height.
yeah, he looks a little like him. Oh, he's
He
tall.
actually competed in an Ironman, which is a running,
He did.
biking, swimming competition.
Yeah.
So he is
But
an Ironman.
planned it like a year in advance or more.
Oh, you have to.
And
yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, this was his first one, and it's very cool. He worked really hard. I know.
We were very, very proud of him, and we tease him incessantly now on all the calls.
Well,
because he still wears his Ironman hat all the time.
Did he get a tattoo?
I don't know if he got the tattoo. He was talking about it.
You need to get the tattoo. If you run the Ironman and make it, and was his a full Ironman or a half?
Yeah, no, it was a full Ironman.
So the full Ironman, you need the tat.
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
Yeah, you should.
Well,
did you say that recently you got a new tat, or you were getting something touched up?
Mine's updated. I don't know how well you can see it, but
I can't really see it.
It's okay. Well, good. Then it's massive and it's huge and it's beautiful.
Good.
No, found a guy, and it's probably an hour and a half away from here, so it was a little bit of a drive. But yeah, I've had one here for quite some time, and he just added to it and touched it up, and it was a very cool experience. Very good.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, not cheap. I got total on this, and it's kind of big. And I don't know how much you can see.
I can see the top. Yeah,
all the way up here.
You can see that big pot leaf on your shoulder.
It's about that's what it is. No, it's not. It's about 7.5 hours worth.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
All of that.
That's almost a work day. Almost.
Holy cats! Well, for you it is.
Almost.
I started
not quite
early.
Whatever. I literally start the minute I wake up.
Literally.
It doesn't mean I don't wake up at 9, but no.
This is literally killing me to work this.
Literally.
Yeah. That was way back in the early episodes.
It really was.
Literally.
Yeah, we're
I know, right?
I know, right? We haven't mentioned, I think we've only mentioned twice now in 2 different episodes this season, that this is season 4.
Wow.
Episode 3. So, once every
New Year.
I was hoping someone would catch up on. You didn't even catch up on that or catch on that.
Why should I?
We've mentioned it at least twice in the past episodes this season.
Maybe
we've only had 2 episodes. Wow, guys. Wow.
Well, I don't think everybody knows, though, that our fiscal year ends at the end of the year.
It begins at the beginning of the year.
It does. It absolutely does.
So welcome to season 4, episode 3 of the pod. Well, we don't know if it's going to be episode 3. We never know until it actually airs that it's the episode, because sometimes we squeeze something else in that's just more important.
We do. Or sometimes we skip. But usually
sometimes we skip
one in the can.
I've been trying so hard not to skip any. The only ones we've skipped, I think, in the last, 5 to 10 episodes was New Year's. You know that.
Well, that doesn't even count, because we even said that we were done for the year.
Yeah, we did say that.
Will we take a couple weeks?
Yeah, we took a couple weeks. When we moved ahead, we should have moved ahead more, but we didn't plan well enough. We never planned. So
us? Have you heard?
No, yeah. I've never heard of us.
Everything and nothing at all.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. It was. It will be. Did we finish our grocery store quest?
Well, did you have? What else?
Oh, I ordered. I did buy some ribs, and
Oh, good.
I bought some. I didn't go with the whole chicken because there were literally only two whole chickens left in the store. So I got some very large chicken breasts and I got some ribs, and I'm going to smoke those probably today.
You gonna do both?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm going to talk to the girls. Jen obviously is at
Excellent.
work this morning, so
Yep.
we're we're gonna talk about it and see what
Cool.
we want to do. But yeah, anyway, for those of you who don't know, and I called John as soon as I got it, and it's a used one because it came from a yard sale, but I did get an electric smoker.
Whew.
I've never done an electric smoker, but the price was right, free. So
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
I like, what the hell?
Well
I'll do
played.
it and I'll play with it. So this will be my first time trying it, and I got some hickory wood for it.
Excellent.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to smoking.
What was the
I
name
don't
of
think I might not do the ribs today because I probably don't have enough time to do the ribs today. But the chicken breasts, they're small enough. I think I'll have enough time.
it? 2 hours,
Yeah,
I would say, for, again, depending upon how big they are, but that's typically what it'll be for smoking them. Use your meat
right.
thermometer. Yeah.
Hopefully it still works.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
check it out, because if it doesn't work, we bought one. Long
did
story, couldn't find the right one, didn't work. We just hammered a
did you
turkey.
buy a digital one?
Yes, didn't work.
See, I've got a regular meat thermometer that I'm going to use
Yeah,
just for now. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because if this doesn't work, then I don't want to have spent the money on a meat thermometer. But if I do like with the whole process, then I'll go and probably
sure.
go nerdy and get one of those meat thermometers. I have a buddy that has a meat thermometer that he's got an app on his phone
Me too.
and it goes right. Okay. So yeah,
I
I
have
might
it.
do one of those,
Cool.
but again, not going to spend the money until I know it's something I want to do.
That's smart. And they're not crazy expensive. Good, just get a good solid one.
Yeah.
I really do like the instant read, which is what we have. It's amazing. I'd also have the one that will stick in with the app, that I just don't use it because it's a little more
Putsy.
It's a little more putsy. Yes, very well said. So anyway, it's you do what you want, but I hope you enjoyed, because it's really, you'll be amazed, especially with poultry, how much flavor
Yeah.
is just
I,
infused.
I've smoked things before. Don't get me wrong. This isn't my
Yeah, no
first smoking
shit.
experience. I mean, why do you think we started the podcast? But that's the caveat on that. I've never done an electric smoker.
Okay.
I've done the can on the side. I've done a smoker like what I've got now, the
Mhm.
round one that goes straight up, but I've
Mhm.
never, it was always coal and wood. So
I'm very happy with the electric.
are
It's
you?
just so consistent and predictable, and I
Yeah.
sort of like that, because I'm not going to
A
take the
lot of the
time to.
purists though always make fun of people with the electric
And
ones.
that's
So
fine, and because, again, if you put them side by side, the product, uh, I would say 90% of people can't tell the difference.
yeah. Well,
And and
we'll see.
and we
We
will
shall
see,
see.
but I think that, yeah, well, you see how it goes. But purists, you're absolutely right, and I bow to them. I'm not going to say that I
I'll
am
eat their food just as well as I'll eat my own.
absolutely. They may never touch yours, though, which is fine, because it's
Probably
more
not.
food for us.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're clear.
And so on that note, John,
Yes, on
I think
that note.
we are going to make this one a little bit shorter because I do have to go smoke some meat.
I think after the
And
last two, people will appreciate
probably a little brevity in our, and they weren't too bad. They were 45 and
They were
46 minutes. That
awesome. It
was
was so
good.
much
And
fun
Matt
with
was,
Matt,
yeah,
but
he was good time.
oh my gosh, but so, and it really did get away from us. It's us going, and I look at the clock and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah,
It was
there was
awesome.
probably a point where you looked at me and you're like, "Wow, Nick is still going,"
Uh,
and you didn't miss me looking at the clock, going, "How am I going to wrap this up?" No, screw it. Let's just keep
no,
going. You
let's
didn't
keep
see that? Well,
going.
that's good. Then I hit
Well,
it really, really well
you
because
did, and
I was trying to wrap it up at one point, and then I'm
yeah,
like, "Okay, we're not wrapping this up. It's going
well,
to
you
keep
weren't
going."
drinking, so that was the other thing, that your
Well,
stamina is much better.
yeah. On that note, folks,
Yeah,
you have a lovely, well, it's not going to be the weekend for you guys because we're already past the weekend by the time this airs.
way
But
past.
John, have a great rest of your weekend.
I will, my friend. You do the same.
And everyone else, have a great rest of your week. Hopefully it is productive and actually, I think, you know what, isn't it's a 3-day weekend this weekend, isn't it, for some people?
You're asking the
I'm
wrong
gonna have to
guy.
look that up. I might have Monday off. Shoot. You notice I said shoot there instead of shit? Oh, shit.
Well done. Oh, dang it. Way to go.
That was another, by the way, that was another movie reference for a holiday movies. Love Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Anyway, John, like I said, have a great weekend. Rest of your weekend. Say hi to Lisa for me. And everyone else, we'll see you on the next Potty Mouths episode.
Caw-caw.